identity theft issues, and all LifeLock plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package. So we'll reimburse you up to the limits of your plan if you lose money due to identity theft. Don't let someone else enjoy your refund. Save up to 25% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The southern storm has stayed way to the south. Looking for clearing skies as we go through the night. Still a lot of clouds around for evening plans with temperatures dropping out of the 40s into the upper 30s. 28 for the low. On Tuesday, plenty of sunshine. 52 for the high. Tuesday night, clear skies. 32. Wednesday, sunny. Pretty nice afternoon. 59. And Thursday, partly sunny. 55. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
The verdict is in. STL Today is named under law 2023's best St. Louis law firm. Thank you, St. Louis, and we vow to continue our mission to not only deliver exceptional results, but to change the way companies do business and make St. Louis a safer place, one case at a time.
When you're injured, you need the best. Call Onder Law at 314 or 618-90000.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Tune in to the Home Improvement Show sponsored by Mosby Building Arts, Saturdays 12 to 1 p.m. on 97.1 for expert advice on remodeling, design, and construction. This live Q&A show begins at noon, or find podcasts at mosbybuildingarts.com.
Hey, it's Annie, and I have you covered for Valentine's Day. Shop at The Diamond Shop in Clayton, online at thediamondshop.net. Sign up for the VIP program and get a free gift with purchase over $200 through Valentine's Day. Plus, save 30% off all mounted jewelry in February, along with 10% off bearing watches and 10% off amethyst being the birthstone of the month of February. Take that budget of delivered flowers and put it in something that's going to last forever for your Valentine. Shop at The Diamond Shop in Clayton and online at thediamondshop.net.
It's where St. Louis and beyond comes to talk.
St. Louis is home for conservative talk.
This is 97.1 FM Talk. This hour of the Mark Reardon Show is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts. Your trees deserve the best care. Call Gamma Tree Experts.
Put the music set list out every day on the X, formerly Twitter, and this is one.
I walked home all the way from East Beach.
You know, when Abby put this on the list today, I'm like, I don't even know if I know this song. I would have added it because I'm the guy that adds the songs. This is Chris Shiflett, West Coast Town. I kind of like it.
Yeah, Mom held down on a county.
Got some new ones that we work in every once in a while. You can always read the set list on the X. After the end of the show, I post it usually at Mark Reardon KFTK. if you'd like to follow that. Yeah, we were kind of, truth be told, the host did not remember the particular fish fry that we're going to be at on Friday at the end of the hour, and Sue filled in the blanks. But yes, Incarnate Word is where we're going to be, and we do not know the rest of the lineup for the fish fries. I believe, just like it is, and I made this clear on the Reardon Roundtable, it's a pay-to-play situation. So if you'd like, no, I'm just kidding. That's not how it works.
Okay, you can't say that sort of thing.
Because people think I'm serious,
yes.
right? And then I get prosecuted and all this stuff, and I go to hell, etc. But we have
that was a fast track.
It's
yes.
Lent and all, but we do have the first one picked out. We had so much fun with it. This was new to us last year. I've only been, obviously, on this radio station now for almost 3 years. We decided, hey, let's take it out on the road, and the first couple of years were tough because of COVID. In fact, some of the fish fries, remember, they just did like drive-thrus.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's full bore. We had such a great time. We did a tour of fish fries last year. We're going to do it again. For those of you, here's what I would say. Maybe I got to be careful here. We were going to do a bit of a contest to ask people suggestions.
Yeah.
Somehow that got flagged. I don't know if there were legal issues. I have no idea.
Okay.
So I'll just do it in an informal way right now just to let people know that we have not picked the lineup.
Okay.
If you would like to hit me on Twitter or Sue or email us, we would certainly consider. You don't have to bribe us, although
you do not.
Okay, you don't have to bribe us, but we would love to have your suggestions. And, the one thing that, because we're in Chesterfield, we do like to kind of geographically do some different ones. We were out at Cottleville last year, which was a lot of fun, even though we all had to take flights out there from downtown.
Yeah, we were
still
in the
had
city.
a great time. Right. We were in
St. Stephen's.
The city was our first one at St. Stephen's.
Yeah, and it was really good.
That's my favorite, just because they've always been very good to me, bringing food by. But we'll keep you posted on the schedule. But we would love to see you in Chesterfield or wherever we are. Sue's there, Fred, Abby, the whole team. It's a good way for you to heckle Jane Duker as well, because we'll do the roundtable out there. In fact, we know the roundtable panel, John Lamping. Lamping's a smart guy. I've known John for a long time, but he's sharp in this sense. He knows that we're having the first fish fry out there in Chesterfield. He lives in Augusta, geographically convenient for the former senator, so he lays claim to that one right away. We have former Senator Smith that's going to be on the panel, and Jane will be here Friday as well, so we're going to have a great time on Friday. Ilya Shapiro coming up a little later this hour. We'll get with Ilya, who is our constitutional expert. He's the director of constitutional studies at the Manhattan Institute. We'll talk about the Colorado Trump ballot oral arguments and when maybe there's going to be a decision on that. Plus, I have an audio cut of the day and more coming up a little bit later this hour. We got some school board elections that are sprinkled into all these other elections throughout the year. And I've said this, I said in the last hour, sometimes these are more important because they affect your life in a way that is more direct. And I like to feature some school board candidates every once in a while. Now, this gets tough because once we have these two fine candidates on, and we'll welcome them to the fray this afternoon. Am I saying, is it Adriana?
Yes, it's Adriana Kuhn.
Adriana Kuhn, thank you, because I think I said Kuhn earlier, so we want to make sure we correct
that's one
that.
way to say it, but we say...
So you kind of go both ways?
It's a
Is
battle.
That what happens?
It's a battle in our family, actually.
So what was the story that we had just last week? Oh, this was Jane. Remember she flagged someone?
Yes, it was Benoit, and it was Benoist, and he was calling himself Benoit or something like that.
So Jane's got a friend, Jimmy Benoist, and I know Jimmy, and then the family, but then the guy, the matriarch or the patriarch of the family was all of a sudden saying that his name was pronounced Benoit, so that threw people off.
Yes. It's wild when own family members don't agree on how it's pronounced, but
Sam Young,
that's how it goes.
Sam's got a basic, boring name. We're not even going to talk to you because I'm so fascinated by the different pronunciations of Adriana. But Sam Young is also here with us this afternoon. Sam, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks.
All right, let's get some backgrounds here. Ladies first. Adriana, you're running for the Francis Howell School District, but tell me a little bit about yourself and what you're all about. And I guess maybe let's get into why you're putting your name on a ballot and doing something like this, right?
Right. So I have 2 children, and they've been going to Francis Howell since they've been in kindergarten. My oldest is now in 9th grade, and my youngest is in 5th grade. And so I've been involved in this district for quite some time, and I do care deeply about it just because of my own experiences. I didn't get involved until 2020, like a lot of people. It came to light.
COVID was eye-opening, wasn't it?
Eye-opening,
right.
Especially in our school districts, and it wasn't a good time for me to run in 2020, so I put it on the back burner, and I really didn't even think about it, but the opportunity came up this year, and I decided, okay, I'll just see where this goes, and now I'm here.
So have you ever done anything like this before?
No.
Never run for office or anything?
No,
yeah,
not
you're out
at
of your
all.
mind. I think both of you are out of your mind. But look, these are important. And here's the thing about school board, and I don't know you guys, and Sam, I'll let you get involved here too, because let me stop you there, Adriana. We'll come back to you. But Sam, you got a really interesting background. Right? You got a military background?
Yeah, I did 20 years in the United States Navy as a naval officer. I was on submarines, carrier strike group, did a lot of operational planning with major fleet staff.
So the first question I asked him is, okay, you sound like someone I can groom here. Other people can groom for other office beyond school board, which is sometimes how people get their start. But the point I want to make is that these seem to be positions where people want to get, their hands on the issues that come before a school board and really have an influence and make some changes. So I like it from that perspective because let's face it, when I have these politicians on that are running for statewide office, they want to get to the next office. They want to get to lieutenant. So it's almost nice to have people. Sam, I'm not discounting your future. Don't get me wrong here, but it's nice to have sort of a focus on people that really care about the issues. So why are you in this race?
Yeah, hey, it starts with my kids' education. We're very concerned about my kids. I got 4 kids. One of them's already graduated from high school. And I got 3 more that I'm trying to get through. And I want to see my kids and the kids that are around my kids. I want to see them all. The submarine force is a silent service, but this is something I feel like I can't be silent about. And over the last 3 years, it's showing it's time to talk.
If we go to the COVID example, it was eye-opening for me because I was the first 2 months with my daughter who was in kindergarten at the time. And there were some things on the Zoom classes that certainly caught my attention. I was in Rockwood, and I think Rockwood was pretty good. And I will tell you, and you guys are probably going to share some stories, but I love my school district, and Dr. Starnes, who's the principal, I know her. Someone's going to tell her that I talked about her here, but we have a great relationship, and I don't feel like there's any. Let me just be careful with the way that I phrase this. Any true visible indoctrination going on at this time, but that could change at any moment. And I'm listening to my daughter when she comes home because she's talking about some things and climate change comes up, and thank God I haven't had the gender discussion or anything like that. But I'm worried because I know, I read about it, I talk about it on the radio, I know the influences that are there. And Adriana, the thing that drives me crazy, I just had a tweet today about a Washington Post article that was talking about all these books that have been banned in Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, there's not been one book that has been banned from the state of Florida. There have been books that have been removed from libraries that might not be appropriate age specific, just like the internet. You would restrict them in, middle schools or elementary schools or even in high schools. So I get a little crazy on the banned book stuff. But is there a driving issue, Adriana, in this school district that you could point to?
There's quite a few.
Yeah.
And I'll say, first off, parental rights is one of my big things because I think we need to have a say. Parents should have a say in what goes on in their schools. And not only just the parents, but the citizens in our communities, because we are the ones who fund the public education where we live. So our public schools are made in a way that the board is elected by the people of our community, and so I really want to make sure parental rights are supported. Also, we're having a huge problem with some things like teacher retention, and that's going on not just locally but nationally.
Sure.
And I want to make some steps to rectify that in our area. So,
well, for being honest, one of the reasons the teachers are getting out because they don't like all the harassment from talk show hosts and stuff like that. But there are serious issues here that are that are going to affect the future.
And I hear discipline a lot as one of these huge issues that they're dealing with. And then we've had a problem with teachers not receiving their scheduled salary steps. So there's a lot that
multitude of issues. Sam, how about you on that question?
Yeah, I think there's a national and a state trend. There's a lot of people who think teaching is a political act or teaching is activism. And I think we just want in our school district, Francis Howell, we want it to be politically neutral. We want to focus on academics.
Is that even possible in 2024, right?
I hope so. Absolutely. I think a lot of teachers really, that's really their focus. And I think we just need to, as a board, remove a lot of the pressure on teachers to make it political.
So what happened? This is a district that's been in the news for courses about history and African-American history in particular. Can you explain? I don't remember all the details of that. Can one of you explain the dispute there and maybe what's happened?
Yes.
Because I've seen every once in a while I will take a peek at the local paper, and I know that your school district has been mentioned in the local paper quite a bit.
Right. So recently, these are... In 2021, new courses were implemented that had standards and curriculum that were set by the Southern Poverty Law Center. And I'm not sure how familiar.
Oh, I'm very familiar with the Southern Poverty Law Center and their BS over the years. They're the group. And, I have an interesting perspective on this, Adriana, from from the history that I have in broadcasting, because in the 80s I was a news anchor. In the 90s I started doing talk shows in 1993, but I kind of had a bit of a hybrid role. And the Southern Poverty Law Center was, if you go back in time, it was always, I kind of rip on experts a lot these days because I don't trust experts. I think experts get a lot of things wrong. Where they were deemed sort of an expert for the media, for the Associated Press, they would also write about, or they would always write about, different things, and they would frame it around what the Southern Poverty Law Center deemed was a hate group, right?
Exactly.
So that's what they do, but they're a very political organization.
They are a very political organization. And so we recently, the board recently removed the standards and curriculum from these courses and said you cannot have these courses with the standards and curriculum that were set from the
were recommended from the Southern Poverty Law Center, right?
They were written by the Southern Poverty Law Center, parts of them. And so they said we can't have these courses like that, but you can go ahead and put new standards with them, and we can reapprove those.
That's what the current board said, because there was a dispute, right? Well, what's funny about that is if anyone really kind of follows the headlines, and it looked like Francis Howell was trying to cancel Black history, right?
Right. And so
it's like Ron DeSantis.
And they wanted to take out that political social activism because, like you said, there was so much activism with the Southern Poverty Law Center, and they do constantly label groups and people as hate groups and terrorists, hate people, and all these horrible things, and it creates a lot of division. And they target Republicans. They also target a lot of churches. They target a lot of conservative.
Right, and again, they're kind of deemed the experts in all this. So the school district was sort of accepting their word and recommendations. So the board flags that, right? And now what's the update?
Yeah, I'll take it. So so now those standards have been removed. They're not allowed to be used in any of our classes in the school district, and so. The classes are continuing this semester as they were, but for next year they're being rewritten. And the first reading for the curriculum happened really just last week on Thursday, and the second reading should happen next month. And
now I know you both want to be on the school board. Do you have confidence either way, if you are on the school board or you're not on the school board, that they will make appropriate changes here or not?
Yeah, I think with proper oversight.
Let me back up just a little bit. How many spots on this school board that are open? There's 2.
Yeah.
So are there people that are termed out, or are there people that are running again?
No, there are no incumbents running.
Okay. So there's a slate of candidates, including both of you, that people will decide, and the top 2 vote getters will win. So the arguments then would be behind your philosophy and whoever the opponents might be.
And the other ones are very liberal.
Yeah,
they
shocking.
Are
I'm so surprised by that, Adriana.
Both endorsed by our local NEA, which personally, I'm just going to say this. When I got the email, do you want to come in for an interview for endorsement from our local NEA, I respectfully declined because I think it is unethical to take an endorsement from an organization that you will be negotiating their salaries and having say about their pay while you're sitting on the board. I know it's been done for decades like that.
Beyond that, they're an embarrassment. Just say that, Adriana. The NEA is an embarrassment, and
I'm
they're
not gonna say that.
And they're political. Well, I will say it because they're a political organization. I don't like to target teachers. I just said things about my daughter's school, and she's had outstanding teachers. And I firmly believe, just like anything else, you have these med students out there at the white coat ceremonies that are reciting all this unbelievable, anti-racist indoctrination. You got teachers, I know some of them that aren't happy with the political climate or some of the stuff that's getting, shoved across their desk, but they want their jobs. So you sort of understand it from that perspective, right?
And I mean, the organization has to stay alive and healthy, and that doesn't mean that they're always looking out for the teachers, because I've noticed quite a few situations in the past 3 years and recently where maybe they're not really looking out for the teachers.
This was an organization that should be held I can go off on my
Yeah.
tangent here on the NEA, but they should be held mainly responsible for the learning loss in this country, ironically, because they wanted to keep teachers out of the classroom for as long as they possibly could because they were talking about, kids killing teachers, et cetera. We got a couple of candidates here for the Francis Howell School Board election, which is coming up on April 2nd, so mark your calendars for that. Adriana Kuhn and Sam Young are both with us in the studio. Sam, let me ask you, on other issues outside of some of the indoctrination, we kind of frame this around the African-American history courses. What are some of the other things that this school board is not doing that you would like to see them doing, or that they are doing that you would like to see them not do?
Well, we got a big fiscal responsibility is still being getting that under control in our school district. We made a lot of news a couple years ago with Francis Howell North High School, which had a $79 million cost overrun from the initial estimates to what the final cost was. And we're still dealing with where, that was a big Prop S bond that was passed, and we're still dealing with how do we spend the rest of that money, knowing that $79 million of it that wasn't planned was caught up in this high school rebuild. So we're going ahead with the high school. It should be open this summer. And these
But
kids
still
are
questions about all the spending.
Yeah.
So are they in the hole? Is the district then in the hole over that, or there's just accountability issues?
Yeah, it's more accountability.
Can I say something about that? Now, this is information that came from a very smart student at Francis Howell High. He is the president of the senior class at one of the high schools, and he told me, so I haven't looked this up to check its validity, but he told me that our school, Francis Howell North, is the 7th most expensive school in the nation. Okay, when you think about that, a lot of those other schools are private schools where maybe billionaires and multimillionaires send their children.
Have made donations for capital projects and stuff like that. Yeah.
Most expensive school in our nation.
Well, I think we should try to find out if that's true and vet that, because that's pretty shocking if it is the case.
He's really smart. My gosh.
There's always math involved here from the standpoint that if a school is built in 2023 compared to what might be built 5 years ago because of Bidenomics, which has provided us with so much relief here. So I don't know if the numbers are equal, but look, the bottom line is I don't know why, and you guys are doing this because you're running for school board, but I'm not sure why this discussion about education reform, I know they're doing some of that in the legislature, the learning loss, what we've done to these kids should be at the forefront of elections, whether they're presidential elections or school board elections, and no one seems to want to talk about it. I know they're tough issues to solve, but we've got issues. We got problems that we have to grab a hold of. So where can people find out information about both of you?
You can find out more information on my website, voteadrianakuhn.com. And then also you can find out information on Facebook at Adriana Kuhn for Francis Howell School Board.
Sam, is it votesamyoung.com?
That's it.
Vote Sam Young. I'm telling you, this guy's got a resume, Adriana. Nothing against yours, but father, husband, veteran, engineer. He's smart. He's got a political future. We're going to be talking about him for something else down the road. But thanks, seriously, though. Thank you guys for coming in. I'm never wrong about these things, Sam. I'm telling you. Half of them that I pick out like this go to prison, but, I don't think
it will be him.
I think you're going to be fine. No, thank you both for coming in. I appreciate it.
Right,
thank
good
you,
luck
Mark.
with the races. Keep us posted, because get people out there to vote, because it frustrates me that people complain about the schools and all that stuff. Then they don't want to go out and actually vote in an important election.
Can
right?
I say one more thing?
Yes.
Sorry to hijack the whole.
That's okay.
If you don't vote in April, a lot of people do not vote in April. Please understand that if you are conservative and you want values instilled in our schools and you're tired of this gender indoctrination of our lower scores, please consider voting in April. If you don't typically vote, we really need every single vote.
It's important. Thank you for emphasizing that. We're coming back with Ilya Shapiro. We're going to talk about the Supreme Court arguments last week on the Colorado case.
View of the roads from the Window World Traffic Center.
We've got a report of debris on southbound 55 at Merrimack Bottom Road. Watch for that in the 2 left lanes. Accident eastbound 70 past 170. That one started in the center lane, and they've been working to get that off to the right side. And a report that the signals are on flash, Lee May Ferry at Hoffmeister. Now, other than that, we've got volume, just the usual areas. Westbound 6440, Kings Highway out through McCausland. Eastbound is slowing at Big Bend. And southbound 55, a slow pocket or two. It kind of comes and goes in the construction zone, but it starts near Bates and it ends near Lindbergh. From the Window World Traffic Center, I'm Sue Thomas. It is 5:26 at 97.1, St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Download the free Upside app and earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Download the free Upside app now and use promo code GIFT for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. That's promo code GIFT.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-700-6898. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-700-6898. That's 800-700-6898. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-700-6898.